Good day to you and welcome. Today we're going to practice reducing fractions. Now you'll notice on the actual sheet of paper I wrote 4 of them. Number 1, 18/20ths. Number 2, 20 over 50. Number 3, 30 over 42. And number 4, 60 over 80. And I want you to notice one thing, that all of them are ratios. We have a numerator and a denominator. And our objective right now is to actually shrink them, make them smaller. And how are we going to do that? We're going to cancel common factors, or common numbers that will divide into the top and the bottom at the same time. But I'm going to show you a strategy that I used. Let's look at number 1. The numbers are 18 and 20. I'm going to set them side by side. And then you'll notice I drew sort of like an upside down division symbol. And actually that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to divide into 18 and 20 at the same time. Now if you're asking me by what, I'm going to start with the number 2. 2 is even. 18 is even. 20 is even. I know that 2 will go into even numbers equally. Now ask yourself, 2 goes into 18 how many times? 9. What's half of 18? 9. How about 2 into 20? What is 20 divided by 2? If you have a calculator, it should give you 10. Okay. Are we done? No, that's the question we need to be able to answer. Look at 9 and 10. Can you give me a number that will go into 9 and 10 at the same time? If you're thinking 3, 3 goes into 9. How many times? Correct, 3 times. But what about 10? Doesn't work. 4? No. 5? No. 6, 7, 8? No. 9? 9 goes into 9 one time, but 9 doesn't go into 10 evenly. Guess what? We're done. The answer for number 1, after we finish reducing, is 9 over 10, 9/10. Let's look at number 2. The fraction for number 2, we have 20 over 50. I'm going to set the numbers side by side. 20, 50, and I'm going to put my upside down division symbol. What's my next step? Ask myself what numbers go into 20 and 50, and I'm going to start with 2. Does 2 go into 20? Yes, 10 times. Can I check that? 2 times 10 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. What about 50? Will 2 go into 50? If a calculator, take 50 divided by 2, and what do you get? Feel free to pause the video at any time, and feel free to follow along with paper and pencil as well. What do? I ask myself the same question. Does 2 go into 10? Yes. Does 2 go into 25? No. So I can't use 2. What about 3? 3 does not go into 10. What about 4? No. 5? Let's try 5. Does 5 go into 10? Twice. Does 5 go into 25? How many times? How can I check it? 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10. Well, we are done if we cannot find any more numbers that will go into the 2 and the 5. Well, ask ourselves, what number will go into 2 and 5 at the same time? If I put a 2 here, 2 goes into 2, but does not go into 5 evenly. If I put a 5 here, 5 goes into 5 one time, but it does not go into 2. The only thing that goes into 2 and 5 is 1 itself. We're basically done, you guys. The reduced answer for the fraction that we started with, 20 over 50, is 2 over 5, or 2/5. Okay, you probably already have number 3 set up. If we set up number 3 carefully, we're going to put 30 and 42 side by side. Don't forget the division symbol, the upside down division symbol. And what's the first question you asked yourself? Okay. What goes into 30 and 60? We can start with 2, but you notice that if you know your multiplication facts, 6 goes into 30, 6 goes into 42. 6 goes into 30 how many times? 5 times. 6 goes into 42 how many times? 7 times. Our next question is, what goes into both 5 and 7 at the same time? And if you can't find any number, any factor other than 1, you're done. My reduced answer is going to be 5 what? 5 sevenths. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're able to follow along clearly. For me to reduce the last one, I'm gonna set it up, and I'm gonna give you some time to work it out yourself. We have 64 and 80. The upside down division symbol. And you can pause the video right now and work it out by yourself. And then once you're ready, then restart it so that we can go over it together. Now, I have 64 and 80. They're both even numbers, so you know what? It's easy. We can start off with the 2 if they're both even. Half of 64 and 2 goes into 80 how many times? Now, if you started at it with a different number, you're not necessarily wrong. Don't assume you're wrong. But I just know that 2 goes into 64 and 80 because they're both even numbers. If you tried 4 or 8, you're absolutely okay as well. Okay? 32, they're both even. What do you know about 16 and 20? You're right. 16 is even, 20 is even. 2 will always go into even numbers. 2 will always divide even numbers. 2 into 16, 8. 2 into 20, 10. Well, seems kind of long, but we're doing well. We're progressing well. Ask yourself, what goes into 8 and 10? You're right. 2 again. 2 goes into 8, 4. 2 goes into 10, 5 times. Now look at the numbers 4 and 5. Will 2 go into 4? Yes. But will 2 go into 5 evenly? No. I can't use 2. I can't use 3. I can't use 4. If I use 5, 5 will go into 5 once, but 5 will not fit into 4. Will not divide it evenly. The only factor is 1. The reduced answer for the fraction that we started with, 64 over 80, will be what? 4/5. What do you think, you guys? Easy? Okay. Thanks for listening, and I've got more videos on the way. Okay?